Hi, everybody. It's been so long since I've gone live, and there's people in the chat, and it's really good to see familiar names, new names. Hi, Lisa. Hi, socially confused. Aren't we all? Hi. I don't mean that in the sense of like everyone's a little autistic. Don't take it that way. Hi, Laura Pinnell. Hi, Modern Medusa. Hi, Alex. Hola. Hola, everybody. Unique, amazing stripes. Sienna Price. Awesome. Oha. Ohalo. Aloha. I got it backwards in my brain. Hi, Curveball. Hi, Christy. Hi, Nabila. Awesome. Live chat is new for me. Yeah, so it's been a while since I've checked in. Life has been really busy, and I feel like a broken record. I feel like everybody is just like going through a lot right now. Um, it's just been one of those seasons of life where I feel like just managing life is taking all of my spoons every day. It's not even. There's been so many other demands, like so many demands placed on my life that I haven't had as much time to put into the channel lately, which has been really frustrating because I have, I guess, paradoxically, I don't know if that's the right word to use. I have a lot of energy for the channel. Like I have all these ideas. I have all of this like love and like, oh my gosh, energy. And I want to do this. And it's just like my schedule has pulled me away for the past couple of months. And I'm also facing a lot of demand avoidance right now because my calendar is so full that is just like whenever there is something to do, I'm resisting it a lot. Um, oh, Paige quit Discord. I did not know about that. Hi, Mary. Yeah, I love woodshed theory. Hi, Hug the Happy Golden. Oh, Beltray just walked by. I don't know if you saw him. Beltray's doing a little better. I know last time I had shared that he's been really stressed, and somebody suggested these stress away drops that I got on Amazon. They're like homeopathic kind of I don't know. They have like a certain blend of oil and supplements. I don't know. I'm not recommending it for everyone. I'm just saying that I tried it and I think that they help him. So we have our little morning routine where I give him some treats and I put the drops on them. If anybody else has really picky cats, I will tell you, I have tried everything to get my cat to take like medicine, or anytime I've needed to give him something, he won't eat it. This is the only thing that will work. So I get the stress away drops. I think that's just what they're called, stress away, and they're for humans too. Like it doesn't say specifically for animals, but again, do your own research. I read about it and it apparently it's fine for animals, but don't take my word for it. Um so anyways, we have our little routine in the morning and I give him his little stress drops and he seems to be doing a little bit better. Also, did I tell y'all that I had to put like fake owls around my house because there were all of these doves that kept flying in early in the morning, like I don't know, 4 in the morning. And whenever they'd perch on the fence, Beltray's my cat, by the way. It's a weird name, I know. Hi, Lisa. Thank you for your kind words. They would perch on the fence and Beltray would try to leap through my blinds to get birds. So like at 4 in the morning, I would be like jolted awake because of these birds. And so I got fake owls on Amazon, and then I had to buy sand, and I had to fill the owls with sand and put fake owls around my house. And they scare me. Like when I go outside, I forget they're there. And I'm like, "Oh." But so far, they've kept the birds away, and I think they're flying south for the winter anyway right now. But so Beltray's doing better, so that's good. I know the things we do for our animals. I'm like, I have a line item in my budget each month for Beltray, or I have for the past few months. It's like vet bills, stress away drops, fake owls. I thought he needed more toys. And you know what? I don't think that's ever the answer for cats. I don't think they ever need more toys because my cats don't play with it. My cat doesn't play with anything that I buy him. He just wants boxes and string. So I don't think the answer is ever more toys. I've tried the Fellaway diffusers, which are so expensive. I think they've helped a little bit, but anyways, yes, I'm ready to not have a line item in my budget for Beltray this month. Dental floss. Yeah, vet costs are really high. cat mom. Hi. Is it Charnay? Oh, and that's the other thing about catnip. So Beltray, I don't know what happens. Like I know cats love catnip, but it's like too much for him. He might be autistic or something because it's like it affects him in a different way. So he starts foaming at the mouth and like doesn't seem to be doing okay whenever it's just a little bit of catnip around him. So we don't do catnip. It seems to stress him out. So yeah. Um okay, yeah. So it's just one of those seasons where it's like and I've shared this with some of you, but I just have felt so reactive rather than proactive in my life. That's the best way I can say it is that I feel like life has been happening to me and I'm just trying to put one foot in front of the other and like keep managing all of the things. And I feel like I've lost a lot of autonomy lately just because there's so many things that have needed my attention that feel like non-negotiables. And as a single mom, there's stuff every day. It's like I just have to do stuff to keep things afloat, to keep things going, and there hasn't been enough time. I just feel like the amount of time I need to do the things that are on my plate, they just are not aligned with each other. So that's been really difficult lately and just trying to make peace with kind of the busier pace of life right now and go with the flow of the river rather than resist it. Um but it's good. I really want to schedule some time to take a step back and just kind of reflect on where the channel is going next. So, and again, this is maybe something I've shared with some of you, but I feel like since my divorce, I kind of threw myself into the channel and I just was fighting for my life, right? Like this has to work. This has to be able to be my work. It needs to work so that I can support my kids. And that, let's see, the divorce was finalized like in April of 2023. And now I'm kind of catching my breath. I thought I was catching my breath and then was thrown back under the waves for a little while. I feel like I'm currently under the waves. But also I can take a step back and be like, okay, actually like Mott's mom on the spectrum is like thriving. I'm finally like bringing my head up. I'm like, oh my gosh, we have such a beautiful community here, and it's less of like keeping my head down and just like work, 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 work. And now it's like, oh wow, we actually have something sustainable. We have something that is growing and is life giving, and it's just so beautiful. And so, I think it's time for me to just kind of pause. Hey, pause. Hi, Whitney. Hi, Karina. Yeah. Yeah, Karina, like, with kids, it's just, I wanna enjoy the time. It's so hard because it's so hard to manage where my energy goes because I really love my work and I love putting time into this community, but also it's like my kids need so much of me right now and, just managing household stuff like laundry and it's been the season of doctor's appointments and checkups and oil changes and I'm trying to think just all these random things, like when it rains, it pours, where it's like, oh yeah, I need to do that. And I need sorry, I need to do that. And just all these little check-in appointments everywhere. And you know how we do with appointments. It's like if there's one appointment that day, it's like overwhelming. So yeah, it's just a really difficult season. And but it's difficult in a good way. I love everything that I'm doing. I love the age that my kids are at, even though it has been extra difficult lately. I love my home. I love my work. Um, I don't know. I love all the things in my life, but I get kind of overwhelmed with it sometimes because I'm like, I want to just learn everything and be everything and do everything all the time. And I have a really hard time choosing what to give my attention to. And, um, and that's really hard. But what I was saying is I'm trying to structure in a period of time where I can take a step back and kind of just clear the slate in terms of thinking like where is mom on the spectrum going next? What's the next chapter for us? Because we've established this beautiful community. And so many of you have been in connection groups, which are so life-giving to me. I love them so much. And I really would love I was kind of thinking about this idea the other day in one of our connection groups, this idea of creating like a third space. Have you heard that term before? So it's like work, home, and then a third space. And it's really important for like cultivating yourself and just giving yourself different environments to grow. And it would just be so cool to have these little pop up environments. Like, I guess we'd start in America first, and just like a third place. I wrote it down the other day. I had a name that popped up for me. Just a place we were talking about in one of the connection groups, like, even if there was no plan and it was just like, come in comfortable clothes and bring something related to your special interest, and like, there's just gonna be a quiet room with pillows and blankets and, French fries, because I feel like French fries are my comfort food and probably for a lot of us. Um, Anyways, I think it'd be really, really cool to do some kind of like regional meetups like that. Um, and just to keep it maybe small at first, I don't know, because 'Cause I've also thrown around the idea. I'll just keep this, I'm not gonna say too much, just about creating something bigger in the future, and I don't know if it's the right time for me to do that right now just because I'm juggling so much, but it would be really cool. Like, I think there's some of the people from connection groups over the years. I don't know if it was Boston, or there's one city where several women realized that they were within an hour or 2 drive of each other, and they started getting together, like, once every 6 weeks, and so starting in places like that where it's like there's already a couple of us meeting and just inviting anybody else that wants to come, and we can have a place to be together. So, I don't know. That's on my mind. I've also applied to be a speaker at VidCon next summer, which is, YouTube's video conference, and that would be in Anaheim, California, so I'm still waiting to hear back from that, but that would be super cool. Um, yeah, so I would ideally like to travel to start meeting more of you in person. I got to do that recently when I traveled to Halifax, and I'll keep the person anonymous just because I always want connection groups to feel like their information stays private, but I was running a connection group, and one of the people, they were like, "I live in Halifax," because I said I was gonna be visiting there, and so we were able to meet up at a farmer's market and just, just for a few minutes, and it was just so cool to make that connection and realize that, many of us have been able to find connection here online, but so many of us are still lacking it in person, and so creatively trying to think of ways to do that. Hi, Buckaboo. Lisa, I am in Texas. I'm in Fort Worth, Texas. Come to Pittsburgh, Florida. Sounds great. Oh, speaking of traveling, okay. So I'm getting better at traveling. This is an update. And I applied for something called Global Entry, which some of you might know about. I just learned about it. So I have this card now, and I can basically like skip through. I have a very short queue to get through security rather than waiting in the whole line. And then if I travel internationally, I get to skip like the long customs line. It's only like, what was it? Like, I'm gonna say high. It was maybe 150. I think it was more affordable than that. And that's for 5 years to skip lines every time you travel. It's like such a huge accommodation. It totally changes travel for me because you don't have to take your shoes off. You don't have to take stuff out of your bag in security. You don't have to wait in the lines. And it means less time at the airport, like a lot less time at the airport. So yeah, I mean, up front, it's like, oh, I don't know if I want to spend, 150. I think it's 125 on this, but it's for 5 years. Don't quote me, but it's for several years, and it's a really, really good deal, I think, to help with sensory overwhelm when traveling. So, speaking of traveling, I'm going to New York City next week to live out a childhood dream, and I'm not gonna cry. I get to go see the Rockettes. It's something, maybe I don't have, like, a bucket list written out, but it's at the top. Um, it's gonna be a whirlwind trip because yeah, I'm so excited, Mary. Yeah, we're just, like, squeezing in, and I'm also gonna see Cabaret. So Rockettes, Cabaret, see the Christmas tree. It's gonna be, like, 48 hours. Um, and Yeah, I got, like, cute outfits for it, and it's always been something that I've wanted to do, um so yeah, that's happening next week. Yeah, thank you. I'll try to post pictures. Sometimes I'm like, "Do I need to post more pictures on Instagram?" I kind of it's hard, because I feel like I share a lot online, and sometimes I'm like, "Do I wanna I don't know. I try not to share too much about my kids online just because I try to protect, their stuff, but somebody's gonna have to see the outfits that I got because 'cause they're really cute, so maybe I'll take pictures and share them. Yeah, and I also just don't wanna be taken out of the moment, so I don't post stuff as it happens on Instagram usually. I'll take pictures and then come back later and post it because I wanna be there and experience it. No, the kids are not going with me. I do think eventually they would love New York City, but I think that New York City with an 8 and an 11-year-old would be not fun for anyone right now. Wicked? Okay, let's talk about Wicked. I saw the movie last week, and actually the video that I posted this week, so it was released for, channel members on Wednesday, and it's gonna post today at 3 PM Central. And it's my review of Wicked and how it relates to the autistic journey. And I'm not gonna talk about it here because I will start crying. Um, but I loved that movie. And as a band nerd, I was a little bit I don't know if embarrassed is the right word, like, but maybe embarrassed that I didn't really know the premise of Wicked. Because I love theater, I love musicals. My favorite musical of all time is Singing in the Rain. I also love La La Land. I don't know, I just love musicals. And, yeah, I really did not know anything about Wicked going in other than it was tangentially related to Wizard of Oz. Um, did I relate to that too? Did I relate to Wicked? Yes. Yeah. And I talk about it in the video. So that'll be posting at 3. And then if you didn't see last week's video, what was it over? Oh my gosh, my brain. What was my video last week over? I did a giveaway in it. I have to look it up. Oh, it's about holidays and stress and how it specifically relates to our community. So I took a lot of what was shared in the holiday calm reset event. If some of you went, it was so great to have that with everybody. So I took a lot of what was shared there and kind of put it into video format. And also am doing a giveaway. And so I said I was going to cut it off at noon today, 12 Central. But since I added a live stream, I'm going to extend it until 3 p.m. So if you haven't gone back to last week's video, I'll post a link to it. If you haven't gone back to that video, you can check it out and enter the giveaway, which is for one of these really cute little weighted pillows. So this is, I'm not sure if I think it's a newish product from Quiet Mind. And you've probably seen me share the big weighted pillows before, but I'm giving away a purple lavender scented weighted pillow. So check out the video from last week and you can enter to win. I have extended the deadline until 3 p.m. Central today. So you just have to comment, like the video, make sure you're subscribed. But I'm guessing if you're watching, you're probably subscribed. Okay, so I talked about the giveaway. I made a little list. Talk about the Rockettes. I have been trying to create more space for the channel to grow, and that's been scary. Okay, let's talk about this. This will be kind of silly. Okay. So sometimes I work with a video editor, and I really love my video editor. He does great work. Honestly, I still am in that reactive state where it's like, "Oh, no, it's almost Wednesday and I don't have a video planned or shot or uploaded or edited, what anything." So lately, I've just been editing everything because I I'm just trying to put one foot in front of the other right now, and I'm not ahead of my schedule at all. I'm, like, just at second to second. Okay, but I reached out to my video editor. I was like, "Hey, can you help me start posting more shorts because I've got all this long form content." I'm like, "Let's break it up and put it out over um, the different platforms." And I know short form content is like really popular. My brain is flooded with things I wanna say right now. So it's like, "Yeah, sure, let's do it, no problem." So he starts splicing up some of my long form, and one of the video that he started with was from my, what did I call it? Sex on the Spectrum series, and it's like, it's fun, like, that's great. I'm glad I was able to talk about that. I'm not, like, worried about talking about that on video, it's fine. But I wanna make sure, like, there's no hate or shade to my video editor. This is just me talking about learning to work with more people. But he started with that one and, like, chopped it into, like, 20 different shorts and just started posting it. And I have been, again, just kind of head down trying to react to different fires and just not enough time to do all the things that I need to do right now. So I look up one day and I realize on Instagram there's just all of these sex posts, about like short form content for sex, which is great, but I just want to acknowledge it because I was getting some emails, really nice emails, because this community is so amazing of like, hey, I like your channel. I totally, support talking about sex, but my daughter, saw a video on my phone and whatever. Um, I don't say that flippantly, but I'm just saying I wanna acknowledge that, yes, I know there was a lot of content being pushed out, about that topic, and I'm not trying to inundate the internet with that. I kinda have to laugh about it because this is me trying to trust other people with helping and, like, helping the channel grow, and the first thing that happened here was just, like, a lot of videos that I don't want my grandmother to see probably showing up in her Facebook feed, you know? Um so it's just growing pains, and I just wanna let everybody know, like, I'm not trying to inundate the community with those videos. It's great topic to discuss, I think there's a lot of really helpful stuff there, but there's more stuff, that will be posted soon. I just wanna thank you for your patience with all of those videos that were probably popping up in your feed. You're like, "Gosh, how long is she gonna talk about this?" Yeah. Yeah, so I'm learning to try to give up a little bit more control. It's really hard with something like a YouTube channel where I'm the face of this channel, and having other people do things that affect my uh reputation, I guess. It's just really hard. And so I'm kind of struggling with that right now, but also trying to challenge myself. And I want you to know, like, anytime you have a reply to your comment or anything like that, that's from me. Like, I don't wanna outsource my voice. I don't wanna have other people, like, speaking for me or anything like that. Um, but yeah, growing pains. I also brought on a part-time, like, business manager, administrative assistant, and that has been huge as well and scary. Um, I just it's at the point where the channel can't grow unless there's more people helping me. And it's a very, very, very scary place to be as an entrepreneur because I've always been an entrepreneur, but I've never, I say always, since I was 24, I don't know, for like 10, 11, 12 years. No, longer than that. No, I started my own flute teaching thing in college. Anyways, long time. And I've never actually hired someone before, and that is really scary. But I think it's gonna be good. I know it's gonna be good, and I'm excited to see where that leads. It's tough to do it during the holiday season. There's just so much going on, but I think it's going to free up more time because what I really want to do is start creating. Um, I want to start doing like bigger collaborations, bigger interviews with other people. I want to start having larger conversations about how we can create accommodations and support structures and networks across the world for the autistic community. Um, and so, sorry. Um, I want to start doing more stuff like that. I want to start creating more resources and content that is helpful, like more classes, more on-demand classes. So I was going to ask everyone, who is somebody that you'd like to see an interview with on the channel? Who's somebody that would be helpful to you? I've thought about Dr. Kim Sage because I really like her work. So she's an autistic psychologist, and I really like a lot of her feedback. Um, Also, I have people on my list. I'm trying to think. My mind is going blank right now. Autism Initiative, UK, Scotland. Let me write some of these down. Yeah, send in your suggestions for who you'd like. Hi, Justin. Okay. Autism Initiative, UK, Scotland. Okay, y'all love Dr. Kim. Scott Eiler. Another thing, an occupational therapist, that's great. Another thing that I wanted to say about short form content, if y'all are here on my live stream, you probably know this about me anyway, but I really love and appreciate long form content because I have nothing like against short form TikTok culture, but I like the way I feel better when I'm not like just consuming small snippets of information, like flooding my brain with that. I feel like there's a lot more to be gained when you kind of commit to learning about a topic or watching a video, and there's like a setup for it, right? There's a framework that's built for approaching a subject within long form content. With short form content, it's quick, to the point, tries to catch your attention, right? So in my short form content, there's especially, a series, things autistic people do. That series did so well because I think it resonated with a lot of people, but it also upset so many people. And I get it. I understand it. So first of all, apologies for the people that have felt like I was making them feel, like the people who have felt isolated, more isolated from the autistic community because they are like, "Well, that's not me," and it says things autistic people do, and that's not me. So, obviously, to me, and I hope you know on my channel, sometimes I make generalizations, but wholeheartedly believe if you've met one autistic person, you've met one autistic person. Short form content is not the place to be like, hey, before I start this, let me tell you my thoughts about who this applies to. So I just would ask you whenever you watch my content and anybody else's, just always do your own research. And I just think it's really important to understand the person's social outreach as a whole, which you can't really do through short form content, at least until you make a judgment about it, right? Until you, um, I don't know, trying to gather my thoughts. Like, it's totally fine if you disagree with me or if I share something or like, no, this is not for me. Totally, that's fine. But I'm just asking you to remember, like in my short form content, um, I'm not trying to make blanket statements for our whole community. And it's actually, my brain is connecting so many things. Okay, let me go on just a little tangent on this. So it's actually kind of funny to me because I mostly was doing long form content. And then I was thinking, hey, I haven't really done a whole lot on TikTok other than, repost some stuff, whatever. So I started like studying how to do short form content. And I was like, okay, it's quick, catchy, you have like a good title and then you just jump right into it. And there's like, you're kind of animated and you have energy. And so I learned it like a good autistic person. I studied how to do it and I learned it. And then I did it. And you know what? It was really successful. And those shorts got so many views. But they've also gotten a lot of criticism because, and I feel like the criticism is like proving, how do I say this? 'Cause I think in one of the videos is like things autistic people do, we take things literally. And so then it's like funny to me, but I also say that with seriousness and like an understanding that autistic people took my title literally, like things autistic people do. This applies literally to everyone. And so, anyways, there's just some criticism that came back on those shorts, which is great. There's going to be criticism, and criticism helps me grow. And I did need to walk back a couple of things I said, like, okay, yeah, this isn't for everyone. But it was also just funny to me because I was being autistic and studying how to do short form content. And then I figured it out. And then it was like there was some backlash because I was communicating in a weird and improper way. And I was like, because I'm autistic and because I'm doing this an autistic way. So I don't know. I just have to laugh about it. And just thanks everybody for your patience and just remembering that I'm human. And hopefully, if you've watched stuff on my channel, that I just have such a deep love and appreciation for all iterations of autism within our community and whatever your experience might be. And anything you hear on my channel, it's based on my experience and my research, but it's never meant to be a blanket statement for everyone. So, um, yeah. So I wanted to share that. Um, oh, Chris and Debbie. Okay, I'm adding more. Okay, yeah, I like Chris and Debbie. Okay. Okay, we talked about that. Talked about collabs. Yeah, the new video that I just posted this week, it's already available to channel members. The one about Wicked, excuse me, and how it relates to the autistic community. I cry a lot in the video. I couldn't help it. And the thing was, that was like the third time I had talked through those points. Like I've talked through them with other people in my life and cried every time. And then I kept crying in the video. I was like, okay, this is just what it is. So that'll post at 3 p.m. Central today. If you think of a name for collabs, just you can comment later on this video. You can email me info@momonthespectrum.life. Yeah, because I want to start lining up more collaborations and have. I'm just inspired by those larger conversations where we're discussing how can we make widespread change, more acceptance, more understanding, more celebration, embracing the autistic community and culture. Connection groups have been going great. No, they don't have to be a creator, Whitney. Mattia Moray. Okay. Yeah, connection groups have been going really well. And I'm reminded every time a group meets just how important they are and how much I get from them, how much the connection means, how much it's worth to just hear from other people who get it. I am going to need to take a break from them at least in January, and that's where I'm at right now. So there's not going to be connection groups in January. Again, I kind of just need to take a step back and like look at everything in Mom on the Spectrum and figure out, what do I need to keep saying yes to? What needs to change? What needs to evolve? What needs to grow in different ways? And I'm also just realizing the ADHD side of me is like, I want to do connection groups. I want to travel and speak. I want to write a book. I want to create long form content. I want to create short form content. I want to create new on demand classes. It's like, I can't do all of those things. And I hate that. I also just want to sit down and play the piano all day and do nothing else. So I just need to take a step back and like look at everything, take stock, and have clear direction about what is next. So there's not going to be connection groups for January, but I do have on-demand classes that you can check out if you haven't already. And I'm actually doing a winter special for the month of December. So I just started it today. But through the month of December, there is 15% off. Let's see, all of my on-demand classes. I actually need to add one to my website. So my on-demand classes are listed here, and then the code you can use is MOTS Winter. I put it in the chat, and that will get you 15% off. I have Autistic Inertia and Demand Avoidance. That's my most popular class. Meltdowns 101, How to Unmask, and then I recently uploaded the class that I did with Sarah Taylor, the Holiday Calm Reset, which that's going to include a really lovely meditation and also some tips for managing sensory overwhelm during the holiday season, but you can use those tips year round. So, can you do late diagnosis, senior citizens on the spectrum? Oh, that's a really good question, Lisa. I know that there's a need for that. Oh, cool, Sienna. Yeah, I do love to play the piano. It's more of a hobby than a skill. Like I can play the flute. That's what I went to school for. And then piano is just like for fun. This is my grandmother's piano that she won on an ABC radio show in 1949. And she won a piano, she won a washing machine, and she won a dog. So this is a 1949 piano. And some out of tuneness is a little endearing with an older piano, but we have passed that point this season. It started getting cold in Texas, and my piano was like, I'm out. So it's no longer endearing. I need to get my piano tuned this season. But yeah, I love it. It was my grandmother's, and I love the character of it. It's got like yellow keys and they're chipped, and it's great. It has so much character. Oh, Megan Neff. Oh, she would be fantastic. I love Dr. Neff. Ooh, great. Dr. Neff. Um, I got a little distracted. Okay, so yes, I have the on-demand classes, and I hope to be adding more of those soon. But one big thing that I wanted to talk about. Okay, here's the resource that I think we need more than anything within the community right now. This is what I noticed the need for the most is support for navigating how to share your diagnosis with friends, family members, and or colleagues, boss, workplace relationships. Um, so I would really love y'all's opinions and thoughts. You may have seen I had a post the other day. I was asking you to fill in the blank. I'm autistic, and that means because I'm trying to help put into words the autistic experience so that we can communicate it to our friends and family. A flow chart. Okay. So here's what I'm thinking, and I'm just brainstorming and ad-libbing. Okay, I'm thinking some form of, this word is always hard to say, editable, like an editable slideshow. There's going to be multiple types of resources, but an editable slideshow that's basically like Autism 101. So here's what autism is. We can talk about sensory overwhelm, meltdown, social differences, delayed processing, repetitive behaviors, monotropism, that kind of stuff. So it'll be like a simplistic breakdown of autism. It will share, some specific experiences from within our community that have been shared with me that I think really illustrate the autistic experience. It will be a list of questions that are helpful for other people to ask us, right? Because don't you wish sometimes that you share it with somebody and they're just like, oh, okay, period. It's like, no, here's some follow-up questions that would be good. What are some of your daily challenges like? What is your internal thought process look like? So it'd be kind of like a list of helpful questions for people to ask us after we share that news with them, kind of coaching others on the etiquette of receiving this information, right? Because so many people I'm learning do not know what to do after we share that we're autistic. They're clueless, and a lot of times they make it worse. So I was thinking some type of kind of coaching of like, here are some ways to respond. Here's what it means if somebody shares it with you, that you're an important person to them, that they want to be connected to you, that they are intentionally trying to seek support from you. Like, it sounds like people are not getting it when we try to communicate our diagnosis. So some kind of editable presentation so that like I can provide the framework, but then you can edit it and kind of, well, yes, that works for me, but mine's a little different because of this. You could change it. What else was I thinking? So the list of questions, um, kind of kind of like a more succinct version of my ultimate guide to understanding autism would be in there. And if you haven't downloaded that, it's free, but it's like a 40-word guide on some of the most helpful terms for understanding autism. I'll put a link in the chat. It's free. Just when you click on that link, just put 0 in the checkout box and you can download it for free. So it would be kind of like a succinct version of that, a glossary to help people understand important terms. It would be an overview of meltdowns, to help people understand what's going on when that happens. So let me look at some of your comments over here. My question for you is, what should that look like? What do you want to see in that type of resource? Would it be helpful to have a video in that as well of me? Because I know people have said, I wish there was a video I could show my loved ones. So like, would I do a presentation and then a video? Um, I know you said flow chart. How would we incorporate a flow chart? Would that be kind of like the diagnostic process and like how friends and family can help support after that? Flow chart's interesting. Yeah, flow charts are great. A little bit tired today, Isabella. For me, it's just because the holiday season. Oh my gosh. I live in a very busy part of Fort Worth, and there's just, I try to only leave my house during certain times of the day because there's so many people. That makes me happy. How do I say it? Deviation 11. You've been letting out your quirkiness and it feels great. That's awesome. Hi, Mandana. Yeah, Lisa, you're not alone in that. I've heard from several people within the community that they've been fired for being too direct. Also, because sometimes some of us like see a lot of problems and we'll point out problems and we're trying to help. It's like not we're not trying to be negative. We're just like this isn't going to work. This isn't going to work. This isn't going to work. And that sometimes that doesn't go over well in the workplace. And then what we said is going to go wrong goes wrong and then people are like, "Oh yeah, you were right." But sometimes it's too late cuz we've already been fired. Okay, I'm seeing some comments, but I'm not seeing a whole lot of suggestions for what else to add. Creating helpful questions. Yes, great, Mary. Yes. Video video with directions that okay, video with directions, that they could ask after watching. I like that. Conversation of how a flow chart of how the conversation might go. Okay. I know we like our formulas, right? What do you think about the slideshow? Is that, like, cheesy? Would you actually use that? Would you actually share a slideshow with somebody, or would a video be better? And would you like an editable slideshow so that you can kind of create your own adventure? Yeah, clarifying questions seem to annoy people. Mine do too, Whitney. It's like, I really am just trying to understand and be helpful. Um, Trying to start arguments, but you're just okay, yeah. Food ideas for those with stomach issues. I know a lot of us tend to have dietary stuff going on. Mm. Okay. Yeah. And kind of what to do if gaslit, because I know a lot of us, when we share our diagnosis, then we're kind of gaslit, like, everybody's a little autistic, or, and I don't mean that. I'm saying that as a response from somebody that would be unhelpful and invalidating. Um, or, well, dad's like that too, or I think you're overthinking it or whatever. So, how do we respond to being gaslit? That would be helpful to have in there too. Something to describe the whole person. Yes, that's what, like, I don't want it to be like, I know being formulaic can help, but I don't want to be prescriptive. Like, I don't want to pigeonhole us, right? I want it to be an open conversation. Video would be helpful. An interview type video, that could be good. And maybe I could show a demonstration of like somebody asking the questions and letting the other person respond. Let's teach neurotypicals how to listen. Everybody, I don't want to generalize. A lot of people think that autistic people are the socially awkward ones, but I think a lot of times we actually have a pretty good framework. It's just neurotypical people are like, I don't know. I saw a funny reel the other day. It's like these, I think they were teenagers. There's three boys, and they were one of them had been invited over, like this girl he was into invited him over for tea. And it was the reel was his friend saying, "Why did you say no? Didn't you want to hang out with her?" And he's like, "I don't like tea." And they're like, "She's not asking you to come over and drink tea. She just wants to hang out with you." And he was like, "No, she was asking if I wanted to drink tea with her, and I don't like tea." And they're like, "No, she wants to hang out with you." So it's just that kind of stuff of like, why don't neurotypical people just say, "Do you want to hang out? I want to spend time with you." Like, just be blunt and straightforward. Okay. Would not show a slideshow. Okay. Nabila says might be easier to share a slideshow. So I think I'm thinking of kind of like a package, like for some of us, it might be a slideshow that works. For some of us, it might be a video. For some of us, it might be written instructions, because I know we all have different types of learning styles. So it could maybe be the same type of content, but in different formats. Because that way you could kind of create your own journey in terms of who you're sharing it with as well, like how they receive information. Um, get stuck on decisions a lot. I do too. I have to have somebody call some people with me to. Oh yes, I want people to call people with me too, like a video. Hmm. Oh wait, sorry, my comments just skipped. Now we got lots of comments over here. What to do if there are tears while talking. So maybe kind of like how to handle different responses. Yeah, I think there could be a lot of good stuff here. How to advocate for yourself in the workplace. There's a really great resource I can share with you on that. And I have a video over it too where I interviewed Emma Sharman, who created this free resource that I'm about to put in the chat. It's a great free resource for workplace accommodations. Wait. Yeah, say what you mean. Hi, Quarconia in Germany. Yeah, how to speak up for yourself when you're having sensory overload. Sienna, I'm confused in my brain. I planned out this video. I don't think I've shot it yet, but it'll be one of the next videos that I'm posting either later this month or beginning of January. It's a video over how to communicate when you're in a meltdown. So I think there'll be a lot of helpful tips for you in that. The Ultimate Autistic Scripting Bundle. Enabler Rex. It's with an M. I know it's a different. I can't remember why she named it that, but Enabler. Yeah, check out that workplace um, resource. It's really great. So, okay, hang on. So your loved one or friend is autistic, and this is what that means. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Like it's for the neurotypical person. Like you would find it as the autistic person and then share it with the neurotypical person. It would be directed to them. Stimming is an important thing to include in that as well. Now I just have to know if I can like go back and read my handwriting. Like, goodness gracious, my handwriting is. Okay, thank you for the suggestion. So one more question for you. Okay, this is probably the next resource I'm going to create because I feel like that there's the greatest need for it within our community right now. What other types of resources would be helpful to you in terms of navigating life with autism? Let me write that down, Dr. Mike. Yeah, any other types of resources that would be helpful. I think the one that I get the most requests for is something to help share a diagnosis with other family members and friends. But I could also format it to where it would work for the workplace as well, which is where the flow chart might come in helpful. Accommodation tools, yeah, list of accommodations. And this is where in my head I was like, "Oh, I really wanna create this resource this month," but now when I start working on this is gonna be like an all-encompassing, hyper-focused, black hole research thing for me. I know it's gonna but I wanna make it really well for everybody. I want it to be a really dependable, helpful resource. Alright, well, please just know I want the channel to support our community, and so ooh, friendly recipes and meal prep, that could be good. I would have to start cooking more to do that. That's one thing that I just as a single mom with everything in my life, I have not that's one thing that goes out that's the first thing that goes out the window is, I'll be like, "Oh my gosh, I think I did pretty well today." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I have no idea what anybody's gonna eat for any meal." Like, it's just meals are the last thing. Um, but yeah, I do, especially, January, I wanna eat better, I wanna cook more. So, friendly recipes and meal prep could be helpful. And if you're on the our circle community, I just added a feed, um, a topic discussion for where you can share your favorite recipes. And if you haven't checked out Circle, I'm getting a link for you. Mm, okay. If you would like to use this link, you can check out the online community for free. So there are, I think there's like two or 300 of us in the online community, and it's pretty cool because when people are online, they have like a green dot next to them, and if you're up in the middle of the night and can't sleep, you can see who else is up, and you can share posts, share resources. Autism and addiction, that's a really good one. I have a lot of interesting curiosities. I have a lot of very curious about the connection between those two. I've heard a couple of people at this point have told me that when they discovered they were autistic, they were able to immediately quit smoking. Again, I'm not a doctor, I'm not trying to like suggest anything, but sometimes just being able to contextualize that smoking is a stem has helped people redirect and like have enough awareness to change their patterns, which is wild. Like that's huge. Um Yay, I'm glad you like Circle Buckaboo. Suitable employment opportunities for autistics, I know. There's a website I like called NeuroWork. Lots of really good resources there. I'll post it in the chat. Oh, thanks, Miles. I'm really glad to hear that. Hey, Jeffrey. Cool. Well, let me just share one more time for those of us that are just joining in. My on demand classes are going to be 15% off through the month of December using the code MOTSWINTER. I'll put it in the chat. And that will be good through December. I have autistic inertia and demand avoidance, meltdowns 101, how to unmask. That's a longer course. Lots of resources in that. And then I just added the holiday calm reset class. It's a replay that you can watch from. It includes a really calming meditation led by Sarah Taylor, amazing, beautiful person, intuitive energy healer and meditation guide. Um, So yeah, 15% off all of those classes. My next video, oh, it's a review of Wicked and how it relates to the autistic experience. I really like the video. It's like I said, I do cry in it because it's just the story hit so close to home. And after having interacted with so many of us in connection groups, like hearing our stories and what we've been through, such a great depiction to me of some of the heartbreaking and isolating challenges that we go through. But then also just the empowerment and the autonomy, bringing autonomy back into your life. Oh my gosh, so great. Yeah, Buckaboo, like, I was trying to like, I don't wanna hold myself back, but, like, at the end of the movie, I was consciously, like, holding myself back, suppressing because I'm like, "My kids are gonna be worried about me." Like, I wanted to just sob, and I did cry, like, I had tears streaming, I had, like, popcorn napkins, I'm like, "Wah," and then the salt, anyways. Yeah, I was crying, and Molly's like, "Mom, are you okay?" And I say this in my new video, but that's about to post. My son, who's 8, Cooper, we're Wicked is 2 hours and 40 minutes. 2 hours into the movie, Cooper leans over to me and he says, "Mom, is this a musical?" Just thought it was the cutest thing. "Is this a musical?" "Yeah, bud, it's a musical." And then he pulled his tooth and put it in a popcorn cup and kept swirling it around during the movie, so that's what it's like taking children to the movie theater. He is really funny. He has a really, really cute sense of humor. Cooper is very patient. He's very kind. He has a very big heart. So is Molly, but Molly is a firecracker. Molly is stubborn and independent, and um, she is a leader. She is a feisty leader. Okay, I'll tell you one more thing before we head out. I can't believe it's almost been an hour. I always love being on here and interacting with everybody. One more time, here's the link for the online community if you haven't checked out our circle community. It's a really great place. I know a lot of us feel lonely during the holidays. There's a lot of support there. But I was going to share, and if you're in one of my connection groups, you probably heard me talk about this week. So my daughter had an overnight field trip this week, which I'm like, okay, December is busy enough without overnight school field trips. But it is what it is. And I went on an overnight field trip with fifth graders. And I felt like I was a scientist observing all of the other adults. So we had a really good turnout with adult support. We had like 35 chaperones there and like 85 kids, I think. Um, and I just felt like the whole time, so we were there Monday, all day Monday until Tuesday at 1. I was just listening to other adults have conversations and genuinely baffled at how they were conversing. Like, what are they talking about? I don't even know how to tell you. Like, oh, they're talking about blank. How do they keep the conversation going about nothing? How did they start this conversation? Why is it still going? Why do they both care about this? I was hoping to glean something from these observations and I just didn't. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what's happening in these conversations. Do you know what I'm talking about? Where you're just listening to somebody talk and you're like, I don't know how I could have a conversation about this or why I would. And I don't even have any concrete information to give you because I can't contextualize the subjects that they were talking about. Hopefully this makes sense because I know that y'all are my tribe and y'all understand. Yeah. Yeah. And then I was like, well, I know I'm being awkward because I just kept finding myself in the circle, like listening but not talking. And I don't know. It's like everybody else just so easily kind of blends and knows things to share. And I think I've shared this example before. This was not at the field trip, but I was at one of my best friend's birthday parties, and there were a lot of us in the pool. And all the other women were talking, and they were talking about like fashion and um, finding the right pair of jeans and their favorite jeans and everything. And I was just listening and trying to figure out like, oh, I want to be a part of this. I want to talk. And I think I said something like, I have 7 pairs of jeans. And everybody just stopped talking and looked at me. And I don't know what I said wrong, but like that was a weird thing to say. I don't know. I thought we were talking about jeans, and I said I have 7 pairs of jeans. And then they're like, it was like record scratching, like, "Oh." So I don't know. I don't know how to talk with other humans most of the time, but I manage. Hmm. Okay. Well, I just wanted to check in with everybody. I'm not sure I'll be able to do another live stream um, before the end of the year. If I'm just on like a euphoric high in New York City, I might live stream while I'm walking the streets of New York City because I'm so excited. Um, but I probably won't do a live stream again until January. And you might not hear a lot from me until then, just because I'm gonna be doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes to just kinda restructure, and I'm learning how to scale. I'm learning how to scale. If you're good at business management and, like, scaling social media businesses, please email me, info@momonthespectrum.life. Or if you know somebody who does, like, business managing and scaling a social media business. I need perspective on it, you know? So I might be behind the scenes for just a little bit while I kind of restructure and figure out a way forward that's going to better support us. I am going to try to publish that new resource that can be helpful for sharing our diagnosis with other family members and friends. It would be awesome to have that before Christmas in case some of us are wanting to have the conversation then. But I know that I'm going to spend so much time making this what I want it to be. So no promises there. I'll do my best. And then last time I'm going to mention my all of my on-demand classes are 15% off through December. And I posted the link there, momonthespectrum.live/classes. And then you can use the code MOTSWinter at checkout for 15% off. Okay. Thank you everybody so much. You can also enter the giveaway still for the one of the many weighted pillows. Just go to the video I posted last week about holiday stress, and you can enter that until 3. And I hope everybody's be kind to yourself this holiday season. You know, say no to anything that you can. If you need to take some stuff off your plate, just remember we do it differently, and that's okay. You don't have to justify yourself. Say yes to the things that bring you life and happiness and joy, and it's okay to set boundaries, schedule time for rest, and I will talk to everybody later. Thanks for being here. Love this community. Bye.